Yo, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to talk about why you should not take advice from talented people. So if you look online right now, right, there's a ton of people who are some of the best at what they do. Like they're the best at basketball, they're the best at soccer, they're the best at rapping, they're the best at singing, they're the best at golf. Whatever it is. Some of them, like, they're the best at whatever it is. But some of them offer advice, and then you look at it, you're like, okay, maybe if I just take their advice, like, let's say I want to become a basketball player, and let's put LeBron James for an example. He's telling me, I just have to just believe in myself, and I just have to keep walking the path of playing basketball, and eventually I'll make it to the NBA. Well, at the same time, it's like, can you really take advice from him? Like, of course, he's a great person, he's offering advice, amazing, but he has freakish talents. He's like 6'8", 300 pounds, all muscle, uh sprint fast. Like, that's never been heard of before. Like, it's going to be hard to apply those same principles and then think that you're going to do exactly what he's doing, score exactly how much points he's scoring, and become all-time NBA MVP just like him. But that's the problem. Like, when you're taking advice from talented people, and especially when you're young and you don't really understand how life really works, you're going to try to apply those same principles and you're not going to get the same results. So you can't take advice from talented people. Some of them, even in music, like, there's some, they call them industry plants. Like, you have people like, we heard of, like, Nas X, right? Lil Nas X. He had the Old Town Road hit. A lot of people don't realize that, but his marketing really blew that song up. The way how he marketed, he made the dance, he had all the people behind him to pay the marketing ad spend, and that's what blew up the song. Billie Eilish, same thing. She had the whole industry connections as well. Her family was already in the music business. So sometimes it's very hard to take advice from, like, people who had already had the infrastructure behind them. If you don't have or you didn't have the infrastructure behind you, then it's going to be tough to actually take that advice. So the people who you should take advice from is people who had nothing when they started. People who just started from the bottom with nothing but $2 to their name. Like, for an example, I seen a movie called Donut King. He came from Cambodia with nothing in his name, by himself, and then just got a little skill, learn how to make donuts. After he learned how to make donuts, he made a couple of donut shops, and then he started to take over the donut game. But he didn't have the infrastructure behind him. So that's, if you want to look at somebody to take advice from, you take advice from those people because you can apply their same principles. They don't have any freakish talents. They didn't have the infrastructure built before them. They really came up from cent after cent, bought the bottom. You have to realize that you have to take advice from those type of people, because then you're going to actually be able to apply it and actually accomplish. If you take advice from people who already have that infrastructure behind them, people who are talented, people who already, like, it was kind of set in stone for them, it's going to be very hard to apply those same principles and make it. It's just like how YouTube was back in the day. Like, YouTube, maybe some of you guys remember, maybe some of you guys don't, but they used to have something called drop shipping. And back in the day, drop shipping was a big thing. And you had a lot of these 17-year-old kids, 16, 17-year-old kids that were talking about, I made $70,000 this month off this product. I made 80 grand this month off of this product. And then it was just like, like, I actually tried it myself. I tried do the same thing off the same product. It didn't work. And I tried it multiple times. It didn't work. It didn't work multiple times. And the reason was because I wasn't doing something wrong. The reason was because those kids who are making the $80,000 to $90,000, they had mentors. They had mentors who are already in the digital marketing space, who already knew how to, ship products, store it in warehouses, arbitrage it, buy it for low, sell it for high, knew how to write ad copy marketing, knew how to run Facebook ads, knew how to do content media marketing. They knew all of that stuff. They had mentors that helped them do that. I didn't have anybody. I was just by myself, 17 years old, trying to spend money on ads and try to find digital products and edit on Adobe Premiere Pro and run ads with the little money I had from my job. That's why it didn't work, because I didn't have anyone that was helping me, that was trying to hey, maybe you shouldn't run this ad, run that ad. Or hey, maybe, hey, look, this campaign just made a couple of this campaign just made $5. Maybe it's time to scale this product. Hey, okay, when you're scaling this product, look at the ad frequency on the video. It's been played too much. Switch the demographics to, maybe put this North America over here, or America here, and then maybe put United Kingdom for this product, and then switch the age demographic. Okay, let's see the data you got. Install this plugin on the website. After you install this plugin on the website, you can do product targeting, you can do retargeting. You can also run Google ad. Like, I didn't have all that. I didn't have all that people helping me. Those guys did. And I'm not saying those guys were talented, but they had the infrastructure built. But they didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you that, hey, we're going to these classes every week, that we have the mentors that are helping us. They never told you that. They just told you that, hey, I made $80,000 on this product. We don't even know the profit margins. We just know that was gross profit. And at the same time, like, you want to buy our course? You want to buy our course where we help you figure it out? And then you buy their course and it's just like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. So you can't take advice from these people. You can't. You have to take advice from the people who built it ground up by themselves, one by one, little by little, brick by brick. People who started at 0 followers, no help, no outside advertising, no people, with 2 million followers shouting them out. They just built their brand little by little. Those are the people you take advice from. So you have to be careful, especially when you're young, because you'll kind of almost ruin your 20s and ruin your 30s listening to these guys. Even when it comes to like investing, if you're not listening to the people who are actually investing, like, they're people who are working regular 9-to-5 jobs and just investing what they had after that, and then became, maybe millionaires after 10-15 years, investing in, very reasonable stocks, not throwing heavy amounts of money into penny stocks and throwing heavy amounts of money into crypto and telling you, you need to buy this meme coin because this meme coin made me $1 million. Like, and then you're ruining all your money, ruining all your savings, ruining your potential future for your buying a house and starting a family. You're ruining that savings account listening to these guys, and they're getting inside, tips. They have people who are working at Wall Street telling them, hey, this is the new stock that's coming out. This is, they're getting insider trades tips, and you never know that because, these people, this is what they're doing. So you have to be careful, like, don't take advice from these guys. The people you need to take advice from, you take advice from people who in real life. Take advice from your parents. Take advice from, like, your coworkers. Take advice from your boss. Take advice from your friends. Take advice from those people you see that are winning. Those people that you want to, that you see that maybe they have more money than you. Maybe they have a better fitness physique than you. Maybe they have a better, better social circle than you. Ask those guys how they did it. The people on the internet and the people everywhere else, they don't really have your best interest in mind. They want to make money off of a course. So be very careful when you're listening to those type of people, guys. So if you like this video, subscribe, like, peace. I'll see you guys next time.